Alright, so I've decided to take a new route through the woods today. A route that I've not taken before. So I just came over that ridge. Utsanati lives back over in there, maybe about, I don't know, 1,000 yards that direction. And I thought I would just come this way. It's a roundabout way. And then I have to go down through a draw down in here, and there's a creek down in this little valley. Thought I would just go through there and explore along the creek and see what I could see. Because you just never know, taking these new routes. Oh, wow. Already I've discovered something. That's amazing. What is this? All right, take a look at what I'm seeing. It's an old house, it looks like. Or it may be an old barn. We're gonna have to go down and check this out. See, this is exactly what I was talking about. You know, about going through new areas. You just never know what you're gonna see. Let's go take a look. Definitely an old house. Looks really old and obviously unoccupied. Gosh, it's hard to believe this has been here all this time, and I've been all around these ridges, back and forth tracking turtles, hiking with groups of people, and never have ever seen this. Amazing. All right, let's go investigate. Oh, this is creepy right here. Look at this. An old plastic baby doll from a very long time ago. This is a really old house. Okay, look at this. I was looking down, found something very interesting here. Look at that. That's coal. So they burned coal for heat. Whoever they were. Alright, so I have my light so I can see in this old place. And just look around a little bit. I don't know what that was, a closet maybe? Look at this. It looks like coyotes or groundhogs have been living under the floor. I would say probably groundhogs. It's hard to tell. Oh man, that's creepy. Creepy old baby doll head. Ugh. An old stove. And there's the old chimney that looks like it's collapsed. Ripped right off the building. Falling through the floor here. Look at this porch. Totally collapsed. Look at that old cook stove. Broken windows. Oh wow, they did have electricity. You can see an old meter box there, and looks like a breaker box. Wow. Oh, look at that old fireplace. You can see how obviously this place hasn't been used in decades because the look at all that mud, the mud chinking from between the rocks. Over the years, since there's not been a fire, is every time it rains, the mud's just eroded more and more. Man, this floor. This looks like it must have been a door at one time, or a very long window. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Hair. More of that reddish hair. Hung on a nail. He's been here. I'm going to scan this whole... This bush would grab hair. There's some. There's more. Look. Some of the brown hair. That has dirt in it too. Some of that wavy brown hair. So this must be... Looks like a path, doesn't it? Where something large has been walking along the side of the building. I can hear a creak over there. Okay, I'm going to have to collect this hair. Okay, so I've already collected the hair from around the door. If you remember, there was some here on this nail, and there was some up here. In fact, there's still a couple of strands remaining. You can see them here on this piece of honeysuckle vine. Now I need to mount the camera, because really there's nowhere to mount it out here. If you notice, the path comes straight along the house. There's a couple of small trees. They're way too small, and they're way too close, and way too conspicuous. All right, I think I've found a good place to mount the camera. Take a look. So what I've done is I've attached my camera to the GorillaPod, which is this tripod, a bendable tripod. Of course, in this case, maybe we should call it a Sasquatch pod. But it's just mounted to this old piece of the wall here. It's real flimsy, but there's no reason it should move at all unless a big gust of wind comes in, or our friend sees it and decides to destroy it again, kind of like with the other one. You know, that other camera works, but I'm not using it because it's not working right. But this one's brand new, so hopefully we'll get some kind of footage as he comes through this door. Look at that. Doesn't that look like something stepped there and its foot fell through the floor? Now, it's not a huge foot, though, because look, it's about the size of my foot. But I mean, I guess if it stepped through toe first, the whole foot might have went in like that. Maybe it stepped through this window. I mean, you know, if you were 7 feet tall and you stepped through the window, you might step right into that. I don't know, it's hard to tell. All right, let's go upstairs. Look at that. A piece of fresh rhododendron. Now, what would a piece of fresh rhododendron be doing in an old house in the middle of the woods? There's another one. I'm not going to touch it because it appears to be maybe a clue. Because obviously if his hair's here, maybe he made a nest here. Look, more. Another one, and another one. I'm going to check out this side of the house first, then I'll go to the other side. Oh, there it is. Sasquatch nest. Wow, this is the fourth nest I found. This one, however, looks very recently constructed. Look at that. It's puffy. You know, it's not compressed like a heavy animal slept there. It has dry grass, rhododendron, and like the others, look, the rhododendron's broken off, not cut. See there? Now I like to note that because some people might say, oh, you just cut the rhododendron with a pair of shears. No, this looks like it's been ripped off of the plant and then deposited here. But like I said before, it's not compressed. So has he used it? He or she? Ah, he has. It has. Look at that hair, that long brown hair. Is there more? Yeah, there's some there, look. Now it's interesting though that I'm finding the brown hair in this one, the long brown hair, but none of the reddish hair. Oh wait, look, there's some. See it down in there? Down deep in the fibers. Look at that. Right there. There's some more of the reddish hair. Okay, so we need to collect this hair. I'm sterilizing the tip of my multi-tool to kill any possible pathogens that would contaminate the sample. Look. I mean, that looks like it could be human hair. We know it's not, though. I wonder if he's out there right now, listening to everything I'm saying. Where are you, Mr. Sasquatch? Or Mrs. Sasquatch? Alright, you know, luckily today I brought my trail camera, so I'm going to set the trail camera up. Maybe up in this corner. One of these corners. And see if I can get any footage of this Sasquatch as he comes in here to bed down for the night. Okay, so I've set the camera up. Here it is. It's mounted here on the wall. And you can see the power cord runs down to the battery pack over there on the other side of this old wall. So hopefully, let's try something here. Yes, take a look. I don't know if you can see it on the GoPro, but the infrared emitters are glowing bright red. So that means if a Sasquatch comes in here, I would bet he can see them too. And so that would explain to me why the Sasquatch threw the camera out of his sleeping quarters back at the rock shelter. And I'm running a risk. He may do the same thing here, but we got to try. There's really nowhere else to put the camera around here in this old house other than crawling up in the old attic. And I really don't want to do that. So we'll leave the camera alone and come back in a few days and see what we get. I'll tell you one thing, it's kind of creepy up in this old house at night, knowing that people once lived here. Old hole in the floor. I think I'm going to get out of here now. Well, it's been about a week since I placed the cameras at that old house deep in the forest. And I'm heading back in to check them and see if we got any hits. The old house is just down there in the bottom of the valley there. Okay, the first thing I want to check is the door camera that I mounted here on this wall. Good, it's still here. But is it still working? Yes, it is. It looks like it's working. That little diamond indicator tells me that it's functioning. Excellent. So the batteries are still good, so that means that it obviously worked. I mean, obviously it's still here, so he didn't damage it, which... Gosh, that's amazing. I mean, look how close it is to the door. You would think if he came in the door and went out the door, he would have seen it. Wow. So maybe, just maybe, he doesn't use this door. Or he's not been back. There's always that possibility. You know, like I said before, at the rock shelter, you know, by disturbing the site, I may have scared him off. Well, let's get the cameras and get home and check the memory cards. Well, let's go upstairs and check the second one. First, I'm going to glance in here and make sure he's not in the house. I'm sure I would have heard something by now if he was. He's either not here or he's behind the door. And the camera is gone, just like before. Wow. Where is it? Oh, look down there. The camera and the battery pack. So like before at the rock shelter, it looks like he just grabbed them and threw them out the window, you know, threw them a short distance away. Well, I hope it's okay. Let's go check it out. The bed is definitely pushed down, so I think this might be a good sign. Let's go check the camera. There's the battery pack. It looks okay on this side. I don't see any residue or hair or anything on it. Just some dirt. Seems okay. Oh, it's a wonder it didn't get smashed on those rocks. If it had just been a foot that way, it probably would have destroyed it. It's a long fall. The camera appears to be laying in some dry leaves and some moss. Wonder if it's still working. Oh, I don't know. It's hard to tell. There is an indicator on the window there that it may be working. It doesn't appear damaged. So that's a good sign. All right. Well, so it looks like he it did the same thing that it did back at the rock shelter, in that it tossed the camera out the window and the battery pack. So apparently I was right in my earlier assessment of the fact that by putting these foreign objects into his domain, it bothers him, and he's stressed by it, and so he gets rid of it. All right, well, so let's head back and see just what is on the memory card of this camera. Hopefully it is just as revealing and interesting as what was on the camera before at the rock shelter.